and we don't know the long-term health consequences. So that's how come I believe that this whole process is basically disingenuous.
2013 is just underway, but this could be the year lawmakers finally decide on whether to bring hydrofracking to New York. Today, industry experts met in the southern tier to weigh the potential benefits next to the potential dangers of fracking as a decision draws closer. Good evening, everyone. I'm JB Buno. Thanks for joining us here on the late edition in High Definition. For years, experts have argued the pros and cons of hydrofracking and whether to permit the controversial drilling method in New York. Today was no different. Just one exception, however. Lawmakers could be closer to a decision than ever. Now, drilling experts were in the southern tier today to discuss fracking's future in the Empire State, and WENY-TV's Tanja Rekhi listened closely to their discussion on where the fracking debate stands here in New York. She joins us live in the studio with our top story. Tanja.
JB, it's been more than 4 years of back and forth between lawmakers and the public to decide on whether or not to bring hydrofracking to the southern tier. Now it looks like a decision could be very close.
The DEC received 80,000 public comments that have the potential to change the landscape of the southern tier. Governor Cuomo and DEC Commissioner Joe Martens have said a decision on fracking could be months away. But before a decision can be made, a lot of people want their voice to be heard. The biggest concern? Health.
The state should be holding the polluters liable. Polluters should pay, but they're not doing that. That's how come I'm so dubious about these, regulatory enforcement promises, because they're not enforcing the law on any number of issues. Water quality.
Walter Hang of Toxics Targeting has long warned of the dangers of hydrofracking, but at the panel in Johnson City, other experts agreed to disagree.
But if it can be done safely to a certain degree, it does create jobs for folks.
Those against the drilling method are also concerned about abandoned wells from drilling that occurred before environmental impacts were studied.
But DEC has addressed that in the SGIS, at least the draft that we have. I have a section here where they talk about what an operator is going to have to do when they propose a well pad site. They're going to have to investigate whether or not there's any abandoned wells in the area.
Permits for fracking will not be given out until results from the DEC's Supplemental Environmental Impact Statement and the state's Department of Health review are complete.
A public hearing on the DEC's proposed high-volume hydraulic fracturing regulations will be held next Thursday in Albany. Live in the studio, Tanja Rekhi, WENY-TV News. JB?